What's up, guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com, coming at you once again from Chiang Mai in Thailand. And today I'm interviewing my friend Mike. And Mike's been living in Thailand for quite a while, and I've known Mike ever since I arrived in Chiang Mai, pretty much the
first day, probably.
The first day that I arrived. And I brought Mike on the channel just to talk about what he does, how he works online, what his profession is, and how he sustains a lifestyle in Chiang Mai, which he's done so for how many years now?
About 3 years now. 3 years.
About 3 years. Okay. So, Mike, do you want to just tell everybody what it is you do and how you do it, really? I mean, I know you do everything online. So
yeah, everything is online. Most of my work, I would say 85% of my work, is nutrition, client work, one-on-one. I do some meal plans and like customized workouts and stuff like that. But most of it is Skype calls, one-on-one, all nutritional based. I do very little PT work. There's not much money in that for me anyway. My specialty and my education was all in nutrition. So that's pretty much what I do. And
so something out of the norm, guys. So Mike is not a web developer. He's not a programmer. He is a nutritionist, which I had somebody comment on one of my videos recently and said that they were into, I think it was personal training on nutrition, and they were looking to work online. And this is really why I thought this would be a great video, because it just goes to show that you don't necessarily have to have a certain type of skill set to work online. And Mike's been doing it for years. So
and I have zero programming and web skills. I rely on people that I know, but most of it I've done myself and been able to do pretty good actually with it. So you don't. It is better if you can have some skills.
Yeah.
Or know somebody. I know you, so you've been a great help to me. But you don't need to be a web developer to work online and work remotely or anything of the sorts, really.
And so you do, just to make it completely clear, you do nutrition for people online.
Yeah, that's all my clients are online. I do. I used to have a brick and mortar business, like not a store, but an office, like a medical office. And once I started offering to my clients, because this is when I was living in Canada at the time, and everybody would come in, and they have wives and kids and jobs, and they couldn't make it past 5, or there was always a problem. They couldn't meet me on the weekend, so we started doing the Skype thing. And after, say, 3 or 4 months of me offering the Skype stuff, nobody came to see me. Like, I had zero people, and I was paying for this office, and nobody came to see me, so I just did it from my house. And then I just realized if I can do it from there in Canada, in Montreal, I can easily work remotely and
that kind of leads into the next couple of questions that I was going to ask you. Number one being, did you establish the business that you have before you moved to Thailand, or is it something that you feel like people could move here and then establish it? Pretty much anybody out there that is like a personal trainer or does like a service-based business, is it something they could do once they get here, or is it something that they'd have to set up at home and then transition to move here like you maybe did or didn't?
Yeah, I think you can actually do it from here. You can move here, but I think you do need a skill, right? You have whatever your skill is. You need a skill. You need like mine's nutrition, but you need something that you're very, very good at, and then go from there. For myself, I had the business in Canada. I started from there. When I first got my clients, I actually did a lot of free work to establish myself. I did the whole trade show thing for a year, probably every weekend for a year. So I built up a good name for myself, and when I moved here, all my clients were repeat referral clients, and I had no problem getting clients. But even when I was living in Canada, I still worked online. I ran Facebook ads, local ads, which at the time were very lucrative. Now the competition's so stiff that they're not as good for me. Right. They're not as good for me remotely as they were locally.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like locally, when I can really focus on local business in my area, they were really good.
Yeah.
For here, I mean, it's been touch and go really, but I don't think you need to have a business before you move here. You can come here and establish yourself, but make sure you have money saved up for, I'd say about a year maybe, because by the time you build your website, establish yourself, and you're going to go through some hard times. Like even now, I've transitioned from my old business and now doing, because I don't eat meat anymore, I'm mostly focused on vegan clients.
Yes, yeah.
And that took me about, say, 3 months to 4 months to start getting clients from that.
Right.
And, I already had an established business and stuff. And it still took me 3 or 4 months to transition to solely vegan clients and the vegan nutrition thing.
So what you're saying pretty much is just to, if you are going to be working online, doing something like what you're doing, is to just think outside the box, because there are plenty of ways to get clients. I mean, right now I know you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
that
which is where most of my clients come from now. I'd say 80% of them.
There you go.
YouTube gives you that free ad that you can put at the bottom.
Yeah.
I ran that for about 2.5 weeks, and I took it down because I'm good now.
Okay.
And when I need clients, I'll just put that free ad back up. They give you that. You don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And
I'll put a link to Mike's YouTube channel down in the description below. And your YouTube channel focuses heavily on like vegan
nutrition, vegan bodybuilding, fitness.
Okay. And you are doing for your clients, you're doing like meal plans, nutrition.
Meal plans, customized workouts. I have a transformation program, which is completely different than what I was doing when I first got here. Because when I first got here, all my clients were autoimmune disease, diabetes, older generation, probably the 50 to, let's say, 45 to 65-year-old. Yeah. And I used to target people that were from a certain income, so I can charge a certain amount of money to them.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's gone from them to a younger generation. So I've kind of done both in the sense that I had the business in Canada, moved here, that was established, and now I've kind of switched to this, which is the same thing, but a completely different clientele.
Yeah.
So you can do both. I mean,
that's another question I had, actually, because from the outside, the fitness industry seems kind of very saturated, and that's something you taught me when I actually first met you when I moved here, to value your pricing a little bit more. How do you compete on price if you're doing kind of like the meal plans and stuff like that? Do you find it? I know before you said you were working with very specific cases, people with diabetes, and that's how you were charging the amounts you were charging before. But how is it? How do you compete now? Do you find it's difficult to compete, or do you find you can just set your price and it's good? Or how do you get clients to pay you what they need to be paying you?
Yeah, it's a completely different price range. But mind you, when I was doing it for my other clientele, a lot of it was one-on-one, and I do charge a lot more for one-on-one because it is your time, and you are with that person. Maybe not physically, but you're with them, and that's actually worth a lot more money than what I do now, which is mostly because most of my clients are from North America. A lot of it's email.
Right.
Now I can do the one-on-one, but I do charge more for it. But I find you set a price that is good for the product. You don't want to be in your field, so you don't want to be the highest. You don't want to charge the highest. You also don't want to be the low-balling guy. You don't want to charge the lowest. Yeah. And guys, if you look at people with massive YouTube channels, they probably charge a lot. But again, those people have employees. They're probably not doing the meal plans themselves.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, right? If you got thousands of clients every month, there's no way that these people are customizing them. That you're paying that person. There's no way that person themselves is doing it.
Yeah.
I do all my own. I'm a one-man show. And, as well as I do, like you do YouTube and stuff like that. And it's fun, it gets you business, but it doesn't pay much. So you have to set a price that is right for you, that is a good quality for your product, that you're not overcharging people, but at the same time, you do want to value your own time and your own. If you have a big skill and you've mastered this skill, you've been doing it for years, that's worth money. Yeah. And just charge what you feel is a good price for your product. Look at what your competition charges. And try to be like in and amongst your competition. Don't be the highest, don't be the lowest.
Yeah.
And eventually, if people want you, they'll pay you because they will like you. And it's finding your niche, it's finding your space in that saturated market. Yeah. And people will relate to you, people relate to me. I'm not that super giddy, like, hey, let's go workout type of guy. And if that's what you're looking for, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
So
it's like you talk about just personal branding.
Yeah.
And I always say this a lot, like, I feel like you could take kind of any skill or any profession and kind of make money from it online, especially nowadays with YouTube as well. And by just creating a YouTube channel, it just creates a connection with your audience. It's kind of like no different to your business in Canada, where people would come in and they would like you, and they wouldn't necessarily want to pay the lowest rate or leave because you didn't give them the lowest rate. They're willing to pay because they like you, and it's like a personal connection. And you've got the YouTube channel, and is that something that you would advise others do?
100%. For me, it's been YouTube's been really good for me. Right. I've started the channel, let's call it 4 or 5 months ago, and pretty much I can run my business off it now, and
Right.
it's not a massive channel, and I could run my whole business.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not making 20 grand a month off it.
Yeah.
But I can easily sustain a living here,
Yeah.
or pretty much anywhere in the world. I'd be able to move back home and live off it.
Right.
No problem.
Just from a YouTube
Just
channel.
from having my YouTube channel that I don't pay for ads.
Yeah.
And I don't pay for Facebook. I don't run nothing but the free ad on YouTube. And again, it's just me. I can only handle so many clients, and plus do the YouTube, and plus manage the website and the Facebook pages. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a one-man show, you can only do so much. So charge accordingly. Charge,
Yeah.
to manage your lifestyle.
And if you want to hire him, guys, now's the time, because obviously I know YouTube just spirals, right?
Yeah.
Snowballs, so it just gets bigger, faster and faster and faster. And who knows, maybe in a year you will be just employing people through the YouTube channel.
That is the plan. The plan is to grow it, but even on the website now, which will be up this week or tomorrow, depending when this is.
Well, I'll put a link in the
might
description.
be up again, because I had to switch from my old website to now focusing only on the vegan aspect of it. So it's a different website. But even just from YouTube, I had the link up, and I probably got 150 messages the one day saying, "Hey, website's not up." It's like,
Yeah.
So YouTube is massive.
Yeah. Is there anything else you do to pick up clients online?
At this moment, no. I mean, I've tried a lot of stuff. Twitter was good for me for a while.
Yeah.
When I first came here, I was on Twitter all the time. But again, it's reaching out, and it's just work, and you can't just put up video and have a Twitter account and a Facebook account and expect people to come to you. You got to proactively, like, if somebody comments on my channel asking me stuff, I send them the link, I send them my email. On my Facebook page, if somebody messages me for a question, I don't spend hours answering free questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to answer a couple, but if it's a long-winded question, pay me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, people are always afraid to charge because they're afraid to be shot down or whatever. But at the end if you're going to spend 20 minutes emailing somebody, well, that's $50.
Asking questions about the service that you actually provide.
Yeah, I find it's you probably get it too, where people often have a big problem paying for a service. Whereas if it's a physical good,
Yeah.
somebody's going to buy a camera, they have no problem dishing out that $1,000.
Yeah.
But if you're providing a service, right, or you're a web developer or teaching a class, or in my case, like nutrition, because you're not giving them an actual product, I find people often have I don't know if I want to pay that much. You just got to stick your ground and say, well, this is what I charge, and value your product, value your pricing.
Yeah, and I find any time that you spend worrying about people not paying for your product, you're better off putting back into getting more and more customers. Then it just becomes a volume thing. Then you get to a point where it doesn't matter if 80% of people don't want to pay your rates, because you have so much volume that 20% of people do, and that's enough.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's so many people in the world, and there's so many people that are into fitness and nutrition in my case, and I'm not going to run out of people. I'm never going to have in my whole lifetime. The whole world's not going to be in shape.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So you don't need to charge $300 an hour, and some people do. I mean, I know people that charge a lot of money, and they get it. Yeah. They charge 3 or 4 times what I do, and they get it.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're good. Yeah. And they've been established. They have big,
demand.
Right? Yeah. And you grow your Instagram, you grow your YouTube, you grow. You make a connection with people, and that's how you do it. One thing I will say though, if you're going to move here, if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have a website, and you're going to move here or anywhere in the world, if you're going to decide to sell all your shit, leave your home base, which I wouldn't recommend. Like, that's not what I would recommend people to do. I've never told anybody, sell all your shit, move to Thailand, and if that's you, that wasn't me. If that's you, then go ahead and do it. But what I would say, if you're going to do it and you're going to come here with money and pay somebody to. My biggest regret is I never knew. If you come here, you're good to go. But I never knew a Brett, and when I was I never knew a web designer. Somebody who knew coding. My biggest thing, if I could start it over, and I would save myself about 6 months of headache, I would dish out the money and I would pay somebody to set up my website.
You can start over now if you want.
Was that? No, I'm good. I'm good now. I kind of know how to do it. But that was a learning curve that I'm happy I know it, but if I could go back in time, I definitely wouldn't do that, because I could have been making.
You could just hit the ground running straight away. Right?
I could have been making money instead of wasting my time getting aggravated about changing my colors on the website or something. Like, I'm not techie by no means, right? So I'm glad I know it, a little bit of it. Yeah. But if I can change the one thing, and that would be my one biggest piece of advice, is don't try to do it all yourself.
Sounds like he's promoting me here, but that was never the plan.
No. But I mean, I'm sure we've talked about it way before we had the channel, and when we first met, I said, like, if I could do it again, I would definitely pay somebody to.
Yeah, it makes sense though, because If that's not your field, you just ideally want to just start a business straight up.
Yeah.
And,
if you're going to move and decide to just jump into something, because you're going to be spending that money anyway, right? Living, rent for a few months, you cut yourself,
Yeah.
Dish the money and get started right away.
Yeah.
Promote yourself, set everything up, and then you're ahead of the game.
Yeah. So what are the exact services that you actually offer as a nutritionist? You don't do PT. That would be difficult anyway, right?
I don't do PT. First of all, I can't physically work here because I'm not allowed to work in Thailand.
Yeah.
And plus, there's PTs everywhere, and some are really good, some are really shit. But the money for me is not there, and it's very time consuming. There's travel involved and all that stuff, and I just don't physically have the time or energy to really be spending that much more time in the gym. So I offer meal plans. You can get a customized meal plan it's 4 weeks minimum. I don't do these 1 day, 1 week things because that doesn't help anybody. You get a 4-week meal plan and customized workout plans. I do those. I do for however long you want. You can get like a 12-week transformation package, and that's right. Or you're an older generation, you just want to get fit, lean.
Do you only cater to vegans? Or do you cater to
right now I do. Yeah, right now it's all vegan clients.
Right. Okay. And how do you work with your clients in a one-on-one capacity? Because that's something that people will probably be very interested in, even if they're not nutritionists, but they're doing some other type of like coaching. Is it all through Skype, or is there any particular tools that you use? Or I know you introduced me to some cool scheduling software. Is it Acuity you use?
Yeah, Acuity is really good.
Yeah,
I've used Acuity. I've used a few of them. Visita, Acuity. Acuity was really good. The pricing was right. And Acuity is great because people go to your website, they can book you, it comes right to your smartphone, and you set your own calendar. So you can block off whatever times you don't want to work. And for me, that's really good in the sense that most of my clients are in North America, and with the time difference, I don't particularly want to be up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I block those times off. And for the one-on-one calls, I'm willing to do them when it's convenient for me. Again, when I was starting the business, I couldn't say that. I had to just take whatever I could take, and I'd be
3 in the morning.
I'd be up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, just trying to crush it as much as possible. But once you have a name for yourself, and once you have money and repeat referrals, you can be a little bit more selective with your clients and your times. But when you start off, it's like any other business. You're not going to start off and just be balling. You're going to have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You're going to have to grind. Like I said, I did a lot of free work. I worked for free for every weekend for about a year. But then I made good contacts, and I could literally not have a website if I didn't want to, and I would still be able to just get clients.
Yeah.
Just from that.
From your client, from the contacts you made back in Canada.
And they're always swamped. I get emails all the time saying, "Do you want this client? Can you take this client? Can you do this?" And I do some of them. Every now and then, 2-3 times a year, I'll take a few on.
Yeah.
But for the most part.
And how is it that you actually deal with time differences? Like, because are all your clients coming from a particular location? Are they all around the world? Are they all from Canada? And if they are, how do you deal with that? Like you just said, you use the Acuity to schedule off your time, but I mean, I know myself, sometimes I'll get clients from the US, I'll forward them my Acuity link to book a call, and they'll come back to me and say, I mean, my hours, I don't get up till like midday, but my hours are like midday till like 9 p.m. And sometimes it's not right for people in the US. And they'll say, I tried to schedule a call, but there was no times that were appropriate for me. And I just have to say, at that point, I just say, well, it's probably not going to be a good fit then, because, if you're going to be somebody who wants to communicate with me in like real time, and you can't even book a call with me because my times that I'm working aren't suitable. I mean, how do you deal with that? Like, and where are your clients from?
Well, right now I don't deal with that at all, which is great.
Yeah.
But now what I do is you go on the site, you can pay for the service. So say you buy a meal plan, a 4-week meal plan, you pay for it, you get the intake form, you fill it out, all your info. It's a fairly long one. It's like 3 pages long because I need all that information.
Yeah.
And again, they're all customized, right? I don't do any cookie cutter stuff. So you fill this thing out, you send it back to me, and within 3 days, I send it back to you, and that's it. Right. Unless there's an error, you can email me back. That's fine. But other than that, it's final. It's paid for. We're done.
Okay.
Now, if you want more contact, you can pay for that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. How would you handle that personal one-to-one?
That one, when I used to do, when I did have that one-to-one thing, and it was pretty brutal because I was I used to just do them.
Yeah.
I used to just do them.
Yeah.
And as I started making more money, as other income streams started to come in, I was able to start working more hours that were convenient for me. The biggest thing is to find clients that are compatible to you, especially if you're going to be working oddball time zones. I never gave a free consultation. I don't do it, but there's many times that I talk to a client for 10, 15, 20 minutes and you realize that you guys are just not meant for each other.
Yeah.
And at that point, because I'm selling packages of time here, so I'm going to be talking to this person 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 times, and if we're not compatible, I'm not doing them a service by just taking their money and trying to help them if we're not going to drive together. And at the same time, I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. So you're better off just not taking those clients, either refunding them. I mean, even if you really, really need the money, the aggravation is not worth it.
Yeah, yeah. Like that, man.
You could, you could easily find another client to take that place. And again, it is your brand, so you don't want to do somebody a disservice by just going through the motions with them. You do want to have people that are compatible with you, and like any business. Yeah. If it's not going to work, you pawn them off on somebody else. You refer them to somebody else. If you've been in a certain industry for a long time, you tend to know a lot of people that might be able to help them either better than you, or just they might be just a better fit. But that's how we used to deal with all those Skype calls, because I was doing them at all times of the night.
Yeah, it's just getting up and doing it. So, really, if you could say anything to people that are watching that are maybe looking to get into working online and transitioning online, what I've taken from kind of this interview is kind of like save enough money that you can survive for a year or whatever, and then just work, right? So just work your
ass off, and consistency is key. You're not always going to have your best day. It's like anything else, but you just got to grind it out every day until you get there. Yeah,
I often find as well, it's kind of hard to get across, but it's a lot of people try and just plan the perfect business right from the get-go and try and map it out and think they can just go, right, I'm going to start and follow it, but it never tends to work like that. Everything's kind of variable. Like you said, when you came here, Twitter was working really well for you. Now you're on YouTube. You've only been doing that 5 months. When you first moved to Thailand, you probably never would have thought you would have had a YouTube channel, or that YouTube would have been good for you.
I wasn't even planning on staying here, to be honest. I just came on a trip.
Exactly. So. And everything just, I feel like you have to just put yourself in the environment, and then the opportunities will start emerging and appearing to you. You can't have a perfected plan ahead of time. Really what it's all about is, like you say, saving up enough money so that you're secure for a year, and then diving into it. And within a year is a large period of time to be starting a business or to be starting anything new, and just dedicating yourself to it without the distractions of your regular 9 to 5 or whatever else you've got going on. You'll find that it just starts working, and you find a way to make it work. Yeah,
don't be distracted when you get here, because it's very easily, no matter where you live, there's distractions everywhere.
Yeah.
But like we always say, if you're going to come here, you're going to live in paradise, you're going to have a great quality of life for not a lot of money. So what if you fucking have to work through the night every now and then? Yeah. Like, that won't be your life forever. Unless you want that life, then that's totally up to you. But for a year or so, you'll probably have to do that, because if you're a client-based business, and let's face it, the money comes from the US, Europe. Yeah. I have no Australian clients, but all my clients are UK, Canada, the US. When I was doing the one-to-one Skype calls, I was up at those times. That was my life for a year and a half, maybe, something like that. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the money was good, but I was waking up at 3 or 4 in the afternoon and grinding through the night.
Yeah, yeah. 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 or 4 in the morning, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's good stuff, man. How can people get in touch with you if they want to find out more about your business, or?
They can contact me at the website, which will be up probably by the time this video is up. It's bodybuildingvegan.com. You can catch me on YouTube. It's Mike McDonald. You just punch in my name, and I'll be on that first page.
I'll link to in the description.
Yeah, you can contact me on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram. I got all that stuff, so you can easily contact me. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you liked the interview, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions for me or for Mike, you can either contact Mike directly or leave them in the comments below, and I'm sure you can check out the comment section on this video from time to time.
Yeah, man, sure.
And take a look. So until next time, guys, this is Brett here from brettdev.com, and we're out. Peace.
Peace out, guys.